Hello everyone, welcome to another live transformative teaching. My name is Kumidere Kwame, and in today's video we'll talk about growth. Why growth is important in an individual life. Biologically, whenever an organism is not growing, there are several things that could be involved. It could be one, either the organism is dead. 2, either the organism is malnourished. Or 3, the organism is having some genetic challenges. Now this goes to tell us about the importance of growth. Likewise, in the life of an individual, growth is very important in our life. If we read a book of Luke chapter 2 verse 52 in the Bible, it says, and Jesus grew. Right? Jesus grew. Now this verse tells us about the importance of growth. And this video is to share what I noticed about growth in the life of Jesus Christ. The first thing is that growth brings about transformation. Whenever an individual subjects themselves to growth, it brings about transformation, which means a better version of the individual emerges. A better version of the individual emerges. A better version in understanding finances, a better version in understanding the mysteries of the kingdom, a better version of the individual in the aspect of that person's career always emerges. So the first thing about growth is that it brings about transformation. And with transformation means that the individual is more capable and has more capacity to do more. The second thing about transformation is that it increases an individual's value at the marketplace. In our career, those who are at the top of the corporate ladder are individuals who have largely subjected themselves to growth. Right? So growth in your specific field of endeavor automatically increases your value at the marketplace, which also increases your compensation or how you are awarded and so on and so forth. The next thing about growth is that growth is one of the pillars of manifestation. Right? Growth is one of the pillars of manifestation. So whatsoever that we desire to achieve, whatsoever that you desire to accomplish, when you subject yourself to the right growth, you are likely, there's a higher chance of manifesting that possibility. And then the last thing about growth is that growth also brings about influence. You know, there's always a saying that follow somebody who knows road. Right? The person you desire to follow is a person who is very influential and whose influence came about as a result of subjecting themselves to growth. Right? So growth also brings about influence. But the interesting thing about growth is that it can't be achieved anyhow. Growth can be achieved when we desire to achieve growth. Right? Growth is also achieved when we expose ourselves to the right environment. Then growth is also achieved when we realize that there is more, but this current version of mine cannot take me there. So in this part 1 of this video, this is what I would like to bring our attention about an aspect of growth. In the part 2 of this video, I'll talk about the areas of growth, why it matters, and how to achieve all those types of growth.